there are lots of ways to make money selling Magic the Gathering cards. There are boxes you can buy and open up and break down that have inverted expected value. Technically, you can go on eBay right now. Actually, I don't know this. I was listening to a different YouTube channel that said that Modern Horizons 3 has inverted expected value. So what the claim is that you can go on eBay right now. You're buying at distribution costs. I think you can buy boxes for $230, which is distribution costs. If you have an LLC and you have a reseller certificate, you can buy on eBay and not pay sales tax. And you can get a box of Modern Horizons 3 for $230 shipped to your house. You can open up, and on average, I mean, there's some randomness, but on average, you're going to open up more value of cards than you paid for the box, and significant enough where you're able to make profit on it, even after shipping and fees and associated with selling on eBay or TCG Player. Now, that being said, it's quite a bit of work. And it's also, everything I just described was a little ambiguous. There should be like a kind of red light going off in your head, because technically you can open up almost any booster box and make money if you sell every card, including the like 5-cent cards, right? But that's a lot of work. And so really the question is, what is the threshold for the dollar amount that you have for a card you're willing to sell? And then how many of those cards do you have to sell? So for the Modern Horizons 3 example, I believe that with a 25-cent threshold, I believe that's the implication, because people use Mox Alpha, and that's usually the default, is with the 25-cent threshold, you could make profit on average, because that's the thing, is these boxes are randomized, and especially the more expensive boxes. You know, I've seen people report that Spider-Man collector booster boxes have inverted expected value, but that's probably, if I had to wager, it's just a make it or break it situation with the Soul Stone, right? It's basically like, do I open up this very expensive mythic rare and make money, or do I miss it and not make any money? And that's risky, right? High risk in that. But that's something you can do. That's one example. You can buy bulk, you can buy lots, you can buy collections off of Facebook Marketplace. I always talk about, buy low, sell high, buy at 70%, sell at market. Lots of things you can do. A lot of these, well, I should say there's just a spectrum of risk, right? And there's also a spectrum of how difficult it is. So, for example, buying a sealed booster box of Modern Horizons 3 at distribution prices to break down and sell, that is high risk, but it's not that hard to do, right? You can just go on eBay, buy it. Like it's you don't have to wrangle anybody on Facebook Marketplace. It's straightforward. And you can contrast that with buying a collection at 70%, selling it at 100. It's low risk. Odds are, like, unless card prices just all drop suddenly, which they're not going to, that's a great way to make money. But it requires this negotiating and reaching out on Facebook Marketplace, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. So, you get all these different options. Now, my favorite option for making money selling Magic cards is commander decks. Why is that? Well, if you think about the two downsides I just explained, one downside is risk, that you're going to open up bad things. The other downside is essentially having to negotiate with people and haggling and trying to buy collections at 70%, and people want to sell their collections at 90% or whatever. Now, buying sealed commander deck sets, there's no risk. You know exactly what cards are in it. And you make good money if you do the math. If you have a tool where you're able to see, hey, this commander deck set net's positive, the expected value is inverted from its price, then you are more or less, you're guaranteed to break down the commander deck and make money. I've shown off a tool on my site before, or on my videos. I'm saying this kind of Python script that I'm run that pulls the prices of commander deck sets and checks if they are profitable or not. That is pretty cool. It's a cool tool. I've shared it in previous videos. You can go check that out. Something I'm very excited to share with you today is a new tool. This is a new tool designed by Chris Gray, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to, as I'll share my screen, the Precon Profits by toploaded.io. And you can see at the top right, sponsored by me. I'm not making any money right now, but I am sponsoring it. And the reason I'm sponsoring it is because This is so cool. There's all these big numbers, all these flashy things. We'll get through it. But essentially what this person did, what Chris did, was independently, by the way, he didn't see my idea and copy me, but independently, he was working on this, which was doing something very similar to what my code did, which is you grab the prices of these commander deck sets, these precons, right? I said commander, and you see what is profitable or not. He took it an extra step where he added in the liquidity of the decks, and then using both how much value there are on the decks along with the liquidity, liquidity being a word for how long does it take for you to sell? How easy is it for you to sell the cards? Because there are decks like this one, check it out, whatever this green bubble is in this top right corner, very high margins, very high return on your investment as a deck, and we can find it below. This is an incredible report. I'm so excited to show you. But you'll make 80% on your money, but it's going to take 4 months for those cards to sell on average, because some of these cards are expensive, but they're not selling very quickly on TCG Player. And so, what does this report do? Well, this report looks through a ton of commander decks, and it only takes out the ones where there is a significant opportunity for profit, and then ranks them against each other depending on how much profit there's available and the liquidity, how easy it is to get that profit. And then it ranks them. And here you can see precon details by deck name, Elven Council, number 1. Oh, you can click on it. Oh, nice. You can click on it. It just takes you to the deck. Wow. And these things are going down in price too. Because spoilers, it's like I got a hold of this and I was like, Elven Council, there's this high spread between the value in the market, and it's just a slam dunk. I mean, the sales velocity is fast. I used my code to grab the list of the cards. So, independent of this code, I used, or, this tool, I used my code to grab a list of the cards. And there's all these, 21 slam dunk cards that are either commander staples like Elves and Rampant Growth and Soul Ring, or there's just these heavy hitters, Raise the Palisade, Heroic Intervention, Swan Song. Oh, Mirror Gladriel is expensive. I didn't know that. Anyways, and so I can check on this. Sometimes my code has errors, but anyways, I was able to validate that this is right. There's a ton of value in this Elven Council commander deck. The sales velocity, very fast. The capital return, very high. And so this, ranking it as an S tier. This is such a powerful tool for someone like me who's looking to make money from Magic the Gathering on the side. This is exactly what I've done to make, 6 figures last year in 2025, is consistently every week I'd spend somewhere between $500 to $1,000 on commander deck sets. Now, most of that I did through a Patreon program through distribution, and there's also like huge spreads on these commander deck sets at the time. What's been tricky recently is that the partners I work with distribution, there has not been these commander deck sets with huge spreads. There's Edge of Eternities or Aether Drift or Lauren Eclipsed commander decks available, but they don't have big spreads. They're not, these, just not a ton of value in these commander decks. This report, though, fixes the problem that I was running into, which was that when I was running into was, hey, I'm only looking at commander deck sets, and altogether this isn't that profitable, and it's a lot of work to break down and list 4 commander decks worth of things. What this does is it takes it a step deeper and says, hey, what if you just look at individual decks? Are there opportunities here? And the answer is yes. There are tons of opportunities with these individual decks. And that is just so exciting. It is so interesting. Arm for Battle. This is the one. This is the one that's in the top right corner up here. What is this deck? Oh, really? Arm for Battle. Sorry, getting distracted. This is a really cool thing. Okay, what's the point? Am I just going to show this off and then, tell everyone, pound sand, you don't get this? No, in the description below, there's a link. You can sign up for the beta test. It's a beta test. It is free. You're not guaranteed anything, but you can sign up, and I think that you will be invited to get these through email and get this information for a few days or a couple weeks or something like that, for however long the beta test lasts. Really cool opportunity. This is definitely the highest value thing I've been able to offer viewers of my channel up to this point, which is just an opportunity to get these kinds of reports and emails. I've been able to show this one off, and I bought 8 Elven Council Commander decks. They're going to be shipped to my place hopefully sooner than later, and I'm going to break them down and sell them. And I'm quite excited to kind of put this to the test and see, like, is this, going to work out well for me? Because at the end of the day, you can get all the numbers in front of you, but you've got to try it out. You've got to see. And I've been very successful. I've been very successful the past few years. Well, last year especially, but past since 24. I mean, I've been doing this, buying massive amounts of commander decks, breaking them down. You have the collector sample pack, which is great money, and then selling the single cards, which is also great money. And so it feels like it's a double whammy. You also get these bulk cards on the side that you're able to sell as bulk lots on Facebook Marketplace, also good money. And then if you're really ambitious, you take the basic lands. This works well if you're buying full deck sets, because you'll get some of each of the 5 basic lands, and then you make basic land bundles, and then you sell those on eBay too. Just lots of opportunities. I am a huge fan of commander decks, and opening commander decks, selling commander decks, breaking them down for singles. And this is just the tool of my dreams. This is a very cool opportunity. And so, yeah, scroll down, sign up for the beta test. It's all free or whatever right now. I'm sure someday this will turn into a paid tool. Stay tuned. But, and when it is a paid tool, I'm going to pay for it, because this is, like I said, exactly the kind of thing that allows somebody like me to safely take a bunch of money, put it somewhere, and make more money selling, shipping out cards. So this is about the biggest of a shill as I could possibly be, but it's because I believe in it. I think it's a just incredible product. It's not a get rich quick scheme, because there's a lot of work that goes into this. It's still risky. I mean, you still have to, even with this S tier Elven Council Commander deck, I basically know I'm going to make money flipping the 8 decks that I bought. But still, it's like things could change. Like, people could change their mind about heroic intervention. It could become a $5 card. And if that happens 2 or 3 times, suddenly your, net margin of $15 per commander deck goes down to 5 or 0 or negative, so things can happen. It's not just risk-free. It's not easy money. It takes work. It takes some kind of gutso to be willing to do this kind of stuff. But like I said, I've made good money recently, and this is just kind of the ideal tool. So now I'm just repeating myself. Thanks for watching. I'm excited to share this with y'all. Let me know what kind of questions you got, and yeah, sign up in the link below. Peace.